Ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
To a new week. This is a big week. This is a week that's different from any other week. This is the NFL podcast, and we talking conference championships. We have made it to the Final Four, and we will dive into both games. We'll actually dive into what happened last week in the divisional round. But first, you know me, your host, Darnell, the playmaker, Silence, and you know who's with me all the way from Pensacola, Florida, home of the C2 national champions. Dallas Glenn, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing half better and half worse than I was last week.
Yeah. Let's base the question, mister. Do we go in order of the games or do we go by conference?
Might as well go in the order of the game. It's only 2 games, and they're both one conference, so might as well just go in order.
So we're gonna recap the divisional weekend, and we're gonna start off with what happened on Saturday. NFC got things kicked off when the Minnesota Vikings took the trip to Santa Clara to take on the top seed 49ers, and pretty much I posted it, I tweeted it. Dallas, it's just simple. San Fran controlled Minnesota.
You stop Dalvin Cook, you usually stop the Vikings. I know I wasn't saying anything profound when I said that, making a prediction, but I mean, the New Orleans Saints held Dalvin Cook under 100 yards and went to overtime. I think the 49ers held them under 50. So they got blown out, and that's usually what happens.
Nine carries for 18 yards.
Sweet Jesus. Well, that is under 50. I was correct. That is under 50.
I don't think you meant that low on the 50.
Nah, I was thinking maybe 65 off of 15. Mike Zimmer probably just trying to keep him honest, even though, you're only getting like 3 yards a pop. Maybe Dalvin would have got a nice thing to get him in the field goal range, or maybe even a 20-yard burst. Give him some hope, but nope, not for 18.
9 carries for 18 yards. Tevin Coleman for the San Francisco 49ers had 22 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns.
One of the 4 decided to have a good day. And I don't even think that was the one going in that became the lead back.
No, that would be Raheem Mostert, who had 12 carries for 58 yards.
Yeah, that's the thing with the 49ers. It's like, back in the day, you had to earn the start. You had to earn the role. Just because you were a first round pick didn't necessarily mean you would play. But as time has gone on, it's obviously become different. If you're the best, all that political stuff kind of goes out the window. That being said, I've never seen at the running back position. Maybe you can kind of sort of begin to compare what Ingram and Kamara were doing, but 4? A dude who was a special teamer at the beginning of the season becoming the starter by the playoffs, and he don't even have the 100-yard day? It's unfair, man. And then Jimmy G just has to do enough. He just has to do enough.
That's something else we was correct on. Jimmy Garoppolo, 11 for 19, 131, a touchdown and interception. Kirk Cousins, 21 for 29, 172, a touchdown and interception.
Yeah, you were not going into this game thinking this is a quarterback duel. But it's weird because for Kirk Cousins and Jimmy Garoppolo, especially considering the fact that the Vikings were never really in it, dude, that's actually, if Kirk Cousins has those numbers and Dalvin Cook has 130 yards, and I know that's saying a lot, but if Kirk Cousins has that exact same day and Dalvin Cook has 130 yards, Vikings probably blow out San Francisco. Jimmy Garoppolo has that same exact day, and it's only Raheem Mostert instead of him and Tevin Coleman. 49ers probably get blown out. I mean,
I got some more stats here.
Richard Sherman.
I got some more stats here, and when we talk about the other game that happened on Saturday, you'll see why I did this. Minnesota had 7 first downs. San Francisco had 21 first downs. Minnesota had 147 total yards to San Francisco 308. Minnesota had 21 rushing yards to San Fran 186. Controlled the game.
If you can't move the ball, you can't score the ball. Unless you got a dang good punter.
So Kirk Cousins, Jimmy G pretty much put up similar numbers, all things considered.
And both, when you think about it, I mean, though they're that tier of quarterback where it's like we're a quarterback away quarterbacks. They're in that tier. They're not franchise-changing quarterbacks. We need a guy. We need a Brad Johnson in 2002. If we get a Brad Johnson in 2002, we'll be okay. And that's basically what Jimmy G and Kirk Cousins are right now.
So my question is this: what we spoke to the other game? Does this fall on Kirk Cousins since he's the quarterback?
No, because Richard Sherman bodied that boy Adam Thielen. Stephon Diggs, I'm sorry, bro. Like, I know there was one play where Stephon Diggs caught the pass inside the 5, going out of bounds in the coffin corner, and he had it, but then he got hit by the safety. They play the replay, and from the other angle, he never really had it. The ball was on the money. It was to him in between both defenders. He was bobbling it before he even got hit because he heard the footsteps and saw it coming. Stephon Diggs, the week before, was mad he wasn't getting the ball. Stephon Diggs had, I think, another outburst, at least one, during the season, being mad that Kirk Cousins wasn't getting wide receivers the ball. And that play right there is one example of how him and Adam Thielen, if Dalvin Cook ain't going, who's Kirk Cousins supposed to go to? If you're going to moan and complain during being on the road in New Orleans in a tight game about not getting the ball, but the team is doing something right, you can't have a moment like that where at the NFL level, it is a top 10 highlight catch, but you can't call for the ball like a number one and not make a catch like that when your team desperately needs the passing game to start going. Kirk Cousins didn't have a 3-pick game. Kirk Cousins didn't throw for under 100 yards. Kirk Cousins, he didn't look like a deer in the headlights, all things considered. That defensive line came in waves, like I said it would, and he had heat on him all day. Dalvin Cook couldn't do anything all day. Adam Thielen is getting covered by Richard Sherman. Everybody wants to be worried about Richard Sherman's contract and Richard Sherman's Achilles and everything. One of the 3 times Sherman was targeted, pick. I'm not saying that Richard Sherman isn't a boss at cornerback. I'm not saying that Richard Sherman, when you really think about things after this season, isn't in the conversation for best cornerback in the NFL. What I am saying, though, is like, bro, like, Saleh is running the Seattle scheme. That's a scheme that's been going on since the Legion of Boom days. Mike Zimmer is supposed to be a defensive coach. Why did the team look like a deer in headlights? That defense is nothing new. It's been around. It's too much going on. It's too much confusion for me to look at Kirk Cousins and say if Kirk Cousins was worth half a damn as a quarterback, the Vikings would have beat the San Francisco 49ers on the road.
All right, so let's move on before you run us out into our break. Because there was another game on Saturday. And all I'm going to say is this. That Derrick Henry train ran through the Ravens nation.
You smart ass. That's why I was talking so long. I don't want to talk about this game.
Well, you have no choice. The Tennessee Titans went to the Baltimore Ravens and beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens 28-12. Derrick Henry, 30 carries, 195, a passing touchdown. Ryan Tannehill, 7 for 14, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson, 31 for 59, 365, a touchdown, 2 picks. Lamar Jackson on the ground, though, 20 carries, 143. Mark Ingram on the ground, 6 carries, 22 yards. Marquise Brown, 7 catches, 126. Now, the stats I'm going to give you. So, Tennessee had 15 first downs to Baltimore's 29 first downs. Tennessee had 300 total yards to Baltimore Ravens 530 total yards. Passing yards, Tennessee had 83. Baltimore had 345. And rushing yards, Tennessee 217 to Baltimore's 185. Dare I say we just seen the reverse happen?
Yes and no. I mean, you don't get 365 yards unless somebody catches the ball. And it's weird because I said that going into it, if they stop Lamar Jackson and keep him from having Lamar Jackson down the ground, they'd have a chance. Well, hell, Lamar Jackson had a hell of a day if you just look at the numbers. But I don't know if it's the defense's fault. I don't know if it's the special teams' fault. I don't know who the hell's fault it is. All I know is when you look at the final score,
this is where numbers are misleading.
That's for losers, my friend. They relish in them.
If you watch the game, Lamar Jackson was not having fun.
He wasn't having a good day. 59 dropbacks and 22 carries.
There was no dancing. There was no making nobody look stupid. There was no highlight reel.
They were running Lamar Jackson in garbage time. That's when I knew that, you know what? I hope not. But Lamar Jackson's about to be the Carson Palmer they handed on the Matt Ryan. He's about to be the guy where it's like, yo, like in the regular season, he's a king. He is franchise. You're always going to have double-digit wins. But, man, I hope that is not the case because, bro, they were running him in garbage time. It got to the point where it was just like he was the only one that wasn't going to drop a pass. He was the only one that was going to get past the line of scrimmage even.
If I would have told you Hollywood Brown would have 7 catches for 126, what you would have thought?
You would have told me Hollywood Brown would have stepped up and had a day like that. I would have thought that, Lamar probably had a 4-touchdown day. If he was getting a wide receiver involved like that, I would have thought the tight ends were definitely going off.
But that darn Derrick Henry, boy, that Yuli prodigy, threw a touchdown pass. He ain't run one. He threw one.
It's funny because when you watch it back, Marcus Mariota's wide open in the flat. I feel like Marcus was actually supposed to get that ball because that actually wasn't the right decision. But when you're having a night like they were having, you do stuff like that. But I wonder if at film day this past Monday they were like Derrick. Marcus was wide open.
Yet again, Ryan Tannehill ain't throwing 400 yards, but yet they winning.
I mean, shoot, Ryan Tannehill was throwing for 4,000 yards and 3,700 yard seasons in Miami. I haven't even seen his season stats. It's skewed because he started like only 10 games. But bro, like, hell, Miami gotta be sick. They whole roster from last year almost, besides King and Drake, was in the playoffs this season.
So, we got a 6th seed in the conference championship.
I mean, it's been a while. Ironically, the other one was a 6th seed, I think, way back when they made their run. So I hate the team that did it, but it is nice to see that, once you get into the tournament, it really is the best 12 teams. You don't want it to seem like a waste of time.
Real quick before we take a break, how do Jaguars fans feel about this? Because Derrick Henry is running like crazy.
How much longer do we have till the break?
We about to take a break about real quickly.
I mean, not happy. Did you look at the Twitter? I mean, bro, like it's one thing after another. And I don't even know if we talked about the other game yet. Bro, it's one thing after another. I'm not going to waste the time. I don't want to waste my own time. I want to take a breath.
All right, so we're going to take a break right here, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're going to get into what happened on Sunday's divisional games. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and let's pick up where we left off at. We're going to Sunday's divisional round, and my goodness, Dallas.
Coach Bill, playoff Billy, I knew you'd come. How about them Texans, the Rowdy Bulls on parade? 24-0 lead, and you still get blown out. You must be from Texas, because the only team I thought that had that in them was the Cowboys themselves.
If you didn't catch it, Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans jumped up on the Chiefs 24-0. By halftime, the score was 28-24 Kansas City. The final score ended 31-51 Kansas City. We had a streak of Houston scoring 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes. That's the first quarter. We come back to the second quarter. Kansas City scored 2 touchdowns in less than 2 minutes, and then they might as well added a third one in, and they added a third one right after that. So before you knew it, about 13 minutes left in the first quarter, Houston up 14-0 already. And then they just kept chugging along, got 21-0. Then they got 24-0. Before you know it, people got worried. Is Kansas City is Andy Reid finna lose another home playoff game? Is this really finna happen again? Next thing, okay, Patrick Mahomes and the group, they got their rhythm in. They get a touchdown. Up. Houston punts. Next thing you know, Kansas City got another touchdown. Houston punts again. Next thing you know, no. Houston fumbled the punt. Kansas City got the ball back. Another touchdown happened.
The pride of Texas Tech coming through like a Japanese fighter plane. You love to see it. You love to see Bill O'Brien look like a deer in the headlights. You love to see Bill O'Brien come in during the press conference. I don't care how it's pronounced. All I know is that Bill O'Brien said they knew they needed 50 going in. And what did they do, Darnell? They kick a field goal and fake a punt. Last time I checked, bringing in
I can't think of the guy's name right now. I know it started with an S, but shout him out, because if he doesn't make that play, that's a first down. Because it was just him.
All I know is when you think that you need 50 to beat a team on the road, bringing out the special teams group on 4th down ain't gonna get it done. I don't know what to say. I mean, I feel like the same guy that people wanted to give credit for last week for winning did his job. But unfortunately, as we saw the night before, great quarterbacks, MVP level quarterbacks, young prodigies who are going to take the league into the future can only do so much by themselves. Let us not forget Willie McGinnis. Let us not forget Junior Seau. Let us not forget Cato June and Rondé Barber. Let's not forget the great defenses that the Brad Johnsons had. Let's not forget the great defenses that 2006 Colts had, 2009 Saints, all the Patriots teams. Everybody's walking in here like poor Deshaun Watson can do it by himself, Darnell. Just like you can't outrun your fork, you can't outplay bad coaching. So is the GM going to fire the head coach? I mean, how does Bill O'Brien do performance evaluation?
The reigning MVP. The reigning MVP was actually on the other side of the field.
we're doing this now. Oh, so wait a minute. The common denominator is the Texans defense. You didn't want to give the Texans defense for making Josh Allen look like he was seeing ghosts. But when did they get carved up for 51? Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong. I was just reveling in the success of the Kansas City Chiefs coming back. Was there a pick six thrown by Deshaun Watson?
No, he didn't even turn the ball over.
Well, was there a fumble by a running back return for a touchdown?
No, it was a punt that was muff.
Oh, wait a minute. So was that muff punt return for a touchdown?
No, it was not. It set up a second touchdown though.
Wait a minute. That same defense that made Josh Allen look like a rookie allows 51 the next week. But Deshaun Watson did his job. I thought evading a couple sacks. I thought checking it down to the running back for a catching one of 32 yards for a field goal. I thought coming out in the first half, in actuality, I guess coming out in the second half now, and throwing a damn goose egg. I thought that's how we won playoff games in the AFC. So when a defense allows 51 points one week, man. But no. Instead of the Texans defense letting the team down and Bill O'Brien doing God knows what, I guess we'll just give credit to Patrick Mahomes instead. Not Travis Kelce, but Patrick Mahomes.
I ain't even get to the stats. He didn't even let me get to the stats. Can I get to the stats?
I mean, go ahead. I don't want you to miss the break.
Deshaun Watson, 31-52, 388, 2 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 23-35, 4-3-21, 5 touchdowns. Yeah, I said 5 touchdowns. He threw 5 touchdowns. Carlos Hyde had 13 carries for 44 yards. Deshaun Watson has 6 carries for 37 yards and a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes was the leading rusher with 7 carries, 53 yards. Damian Williams had 12 carries, 47 yards, 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Hopkins, 9 receptions, 118. But Travis Kelce, 10 receptions, 134, 3 touchdowns.
I'm hearing that the wide receiver showed up. I'm hearing that the quarterback showed up. But, when you tell me that the tight end had 3 touchdowns, when you tell me that the quarterback was the leading rusher and he had 5 touchdowns and he was down by 24 points, I'm hearing all these nice stats from the Texans offense. But I'm also wondering, where the hell was Romeo Crennel that day? What the hell is going on here? What the hell went on there? Man. And shout out to the Kansas City, shout out to Frank Clark and Tyrann Mathieu, paying some dividends. You don't always gotta buy stocks to make that money back. Sometimes you just gotta get you some Pro Bowlers and some All Pros to help do the job in the second half. Because whether it's the first half or whether it's the second half, if it's an AFC playoff game, Bill O'Brien's gonna spot you, and he's gonna spot you. Nice.
You did a nice segue there, because with the time we have left, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and the Green Bay Packers did what we thought they would do, and that's send Seattle home packing. 28-23. Russell Wilson tried everything he had. 21, 30 for 31, 277 and touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, 16 for 27, 243, 2 touchdowns. Marshawn Lynch was not beast mode whatsoever. 12 carries, 26 yards, 2 touchdowns. Russell Wilson has 7 carries for 64 yards. Aaron Jones, 21 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Lockett,
again,
9 receptions, 136 of a touchdown. DK Metcalf, who showed out in the wild card round, 4 receptions, 59 yards. And we get to Davante Adams. Credit to Dallas Glenn. 8 receptions, 162 touchdowns.
Again, but before don't do that. Don't sit here and Lamar Jackson throws dang near 60 passes and rushes 20. Don't do that and then seriously sit here and say, oh, he's not, bro. Beast mode was not brought back to be a 22 carry, 130-yard back. He did his role on the team. You wish that Homer could step up. You wish that, the Pete Carroll Moneyball with his offensive line didn't have to show his ugly face when Russell Wilson's running for his life the entire game. You hope that DK Metcalf, who is a rookie, could have been consistent with that big performance. But, bro, 2 touchdowns in short yardage. That's what they re-signed Marshawn for. Marshawn had 4 touchdowns in 3 games, and I'm surprised he got that. Like, bro, without those 2 touchdowns, what's the final score?
We were looking at somewhere between about 16 to 15 points.
Okay, I'm gonna just go with that. Bro, like, Turbin wasn't actually that hot when he was the young backup to Marshawn. And Homer's a great receiving back, but I mean, Marshawn's been really getting the goal line reps the past 3 weeks, so we don't even know what kind of short yardage back Homer is. We just know he's a really great receiving back. He had 1 catch where his momentum was actually going out of bounds. He was able to stop himself and keep going. Usually as a receiver, you sacrifice the physicality needed to get down and busy on the goal line. So don't do that, because that's 14 valuable points that Homer or Turbin probably wouldn't have gotten.
That still leaves the Green Bay Packers and that OG that is Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, that wasn't my point. Multiple things can be true at once. I wish more people would realize that, but
I did give you credit. You did bring up Devontae Adams.
yeah, I mean, God bless him, man. Like, that's. I mean, Jimmy Graham. It was controversial, but like, whatever, man. Like, Jimmy Graham, it's weird. He had an average tight end day, which at his age, and all things considered in context, was actually pretty big. Him having those mismatches against the linebackers and in the middle of the field and everything obviously ended the game. But like, yeah, bro, story day is Devontae Adams. He showed up big. I wonder when his contract is due, because usually when you have games that big in the playoffs and everybody knows the ball is going to you, it usually means something good for your pockets.
Well, so there you have it. San Fran won. Tennessee won. Kansas City won. Green Bay won. I'm surprised you ain't laugh one more time when I said Kansas City.
Well, you know what balances out the fact that Tennessee won.
So that's the teams that are in the Final Four. We have 2 number 2s, a number 1, and a number 6. Jeez. I'm looking at what? The styles of playing from these 4. It's going to be interesting to break down when we get ready for this conference championship talk. So, any last words about Divisional Weekend before we take a break?
I was thinking that the Buffalo Bills were going to be the next 2018 Chiefs, 2017 Jaguars, but we're going to have to see because, God, I don't know if Ryan Tannehill in this form is sustainable over the long term. This might be it. This might be the run.
So, there you go. We're going to take another break. And when we come back, we're going to preview these conference championship games. So, stay tuned. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we gave you the appetizers, gave you a little snack. Now we ready for the full course meal at Dallas.
Was the snack the Kansas City Houston game? Because the damn sure wasn't a meal. That game was over fairly quickly after the third quarter started. But yeah, championship weekend, woohoo!
Championship weekend, we are down to the Final Four. Both games will be on Sunday, which means Saturday you're free to do whatever you want to do. Have fun. There's no more college football games. All stuff considered. But we'll talk about that in another podcast. But anyway, first up is Dallas's conference, the AFC conference. Those Tennessee Titans are on the road yet again. Now they are going to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the reigning MVP Patrick Mahomes and those Kansas City Chiefs. 3:05 p.m. after just about everybody get out of church and they don't praise the Lord and did what they need to do. They thank him for the week that he gave you on CBS. So, Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, they're going to do a great job calling that game. So, Mr. Glenn, I know you hate it. I know you don't want to do it, but you have to. It's the Titans and the Chiefs. Winner goes to the Super Bowl.
Oh, Chiefs.
So no breakdown, no nothing, just Chiefs.
Chiefs. Like, never in my life will I ever pick the Tennessee Titans to go to the Super Bowl.
I ain't saying pick, but you ain't gonna break the game down or nothing.
How about you just shoot on? How about you do a breakdown? Why do you do this? Then get mad at me and say break in time and stuff. You do it. Good and damn well. I wouldn't have did this to you if it was Seattle, San Francisco, and NFC Championship.
I would have did it myself. Except for it anyway.
It's different though. San Fran it's not some random team that was 2-4 and just like you that you had just blown out in week 3 with Ryan Tannehill. Like, bro, with this free agent QB class, with the QB class from Ryan Tannehill is a franchise savior. Derrick Henry's gonna come out of nowhere and have 1,500 yards during the regular season and have like 540 yards in 3 games. The game you need to get into the playoffs. Then the 2 games in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Bro, no. Chiefs.
This is getting really bad. Dang. Since he ain't gonna do it, I'll do it. So we got this Derrick Henry train. Now it's rolling the Arrowhead to take on this team that can look at a 24-0 deficit and put up 51. It's like, why are we here right now? We have the rushing champion versus the reigning MVP. We have is this Mike Vrabel first year or is it second year?
This is Vrabel's second. It's a second.
So they have a second-year coach against a coach who struggles in these type of games at home.
Yeah, they had an AFC championship game at home last year.
So they did it. They did this thing on Get Up where him both throws a question out there and he put somebody to guess it. Question was Andy Reid has lost in this championship game 3 times at home. Who done it? Who has lost more? The fact that Andy Reid has been in 3 conference championships at home and lost 3. He probably been in more, who knows? But he lost 3 conference championship games at home. That's just bad.
Well, no, he's definitely been more because I know that he had 5 championship game appearances with Donovan McNabb at least. So now, granted, he only went to 1 Super Bowl in the Donovan McNabb era. So I'll tell you everything you need to know. Who was the other coach?
Bill Coward.
Ha!
Wow. We'll get the Bill Coward when we finish talking.
Yeah, that's a little bit.
We'll get the Bill Coward.
That actually makes it worse for Andy Reid. That actually makes it terrible for Andy Reid because it's like, bro, like, pimp. Bill Coward was a Steeler forever. You're on your second team, but I think that the only reason why you would pick the 2-tone blue is it's Andy Reid. It's the Kansas City Chiefs at home in a playoff game. And Patrick Mahomes in his MVP season had Tom Brady and the Patriots dead to rights and a 4th-string cornerback stopped Tyreek Hill and basically made the game way closer than it should have been. Like I'm not going to say the Patriots defense was getting ready to go off the cliff in last year's AFC Championship game, but you can kind of start to see signs during the Super Bowl last year that, oh, wow, this is different. So as vulnerable as you're going to get the Patriots besides this year, and a 24-0 gap to a team where it's Bill O'Brien. Letting Bill O'Brien even be in the game the first half isn't really, how do I say this? It's not a good look right now. If you had to pay off a house you had no business buying, it would be reasonable for you to put some money down on the two-tone blues. But if you're not a gambling man, it's kind of a numbers game. Is Patrick Mahomes really going to be the next Donovan McNabb? Is Andy Reid really going to waste the career of a prodigy like this? And Darnell, I don't know if Andy Reid can really tank a game that bad. Because Patrick Mahomes, he came back from 24 down and ended up scoring 50. If you're going to score 50 no matter what, it doesn't matter how you score it. You're going to score it. And, Donovan McNabb was a really good quarterback. Brian Westbrook was a really good running back. Terrell Owens had like 200 yards on a broken leg in that Super Bowl, but none of those three are Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think that Andy Reid is going to be able to get in the way. This will be Mahomes' what? His fourth postseason game?
Yep.
And I think both times in the divisional round, he faced the AFC South team. And actually, yeah, so really, over the past 2 years, he has a chance to skunk the entire division. I'm not going to say that everybody is the exact same in the AFC South, but when you really think about it, I mean, if you're Patrick Mahomes, if you're already an MVP, if you're already a 5,000-yard, 50-touchdown passer in one season, if you already, like, Lamar Jackson doing what he did on the ground, along with what he did in the air, is why Mahomes isn't in the MVP conversation. But, I mean, if the MVP season was a complete season award, which it should be because waiting the day before the Super Bowl is ridiculous when you have the playoffs happen like this, I don't see Andy Reid messing it up. I think Patrick Mahomes is so good, he might be one of the few players in the history of the league to outplay bad coaching.
So the line is Kansas City 7, over under 53. Matter of fact, these two teams faced off in week. Matter of fact, was that the first game? Was that the first game Tannehill played?
It might have been. I know it was the Tannehill game for sure, but I don't know if it was the first one he played.
And the Titans took down the Kansas City Chiefs.
I think they put up 35.
Let me see if I can find what week that was, because that was surprising.
If it was 7, it was the first start. Week 7 or week 8, it was the first start, because I can't remember when their bye week was.
So, okay. And no, it wasn't week 7 because Kansas City played Denver on Monday night. Matter of fact, week 7 is when Patrick Mahomes got injured.
So which week was it?
So we got to go down further. So because he missed what, 2 games before he came back?
Yeah.
So we talking week 10?
Oh, that means Tannehill has some games under his belt, which kind of makes it even worse. But see, the difference is you're talking about like 30, 40, 60-yard touchdown runs to do what they've been doing and keeping up with Kansas City. Like, forcing Lamar to pass it and run in garbage time is different. Like, Tom Brady, you blame the receiving core. You blame Sony Michel not being like, take over the game back. Okay. Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown has 100 plus yards. Lamar Jackson throws for 360. You look at the box score. What the hell happened? The game happened. It's just Ryan Tannehill being able to coast back and hand off the ball for 3 straight weeks. 3 straight weeks, just coast back, hand off the ball. That's 3 weeks of film. That's a team that had a bye week when they did what they did to the Patriots. That's Tyreek Hill, who was a game-breaking punt returner and might be one of the few punt returners in the NFL that might be able to go bar for bar with Brett Kern. The matchups are there. It's just like, is Ryan Tannehill going to have a 3-touchdown day? Is he just randomly going to be able to be a super? He's been an efficient passer. His passer rating is up there. But in these playoffs, against what could be, if things shake out horribly, the 3rd or 4th best team in the NFL this year, a top 4 team in the NFL, is Ryan Tannehill magically going to become a 3-touchdown a game quarterback?
So, doing this podcasting thing, I have learned to be honest about the things that I do. I'm picking Kansas City. I said at the beginning of the playoffs, Patrick Mahomes is on a revenge tour. He won't see New England, so they even work for everybody else. He don't got to see New England. That means he can tear up everybody else. Derrick Henry, even though he ran for 188 and 2 touchdowns against them in Week 10, they got some pieces back for this one. You might get 100 yards still, but I don't think y'all come out on top of this. So I'm gonna take Kansas City along with Dallas. And then that brings us to the NFC. Another rematch from early in the season. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers going back to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers team that destroyed them on Sunday Night Football one of these weeks ago. Dallas Glenn, do we have a repeat? By the way, the line is 7.5 with a 45 over under.
Let's see. Touchdown with a 45 over. I mean, you see the data looks weird because Chris Carson was hurt. So you don't really know if the Packers really can stop the run in these playoffs. I'm about a 4-headed monster. So on that front, I'm not sure. Kittle, man. Shoot, forget what Kittle's doing as a receiver. Have you been seeing the videos of him as a run blocker lately? Good God. If he starts bodying one of the Smith brothers like that in the run game, that's not going to be good going forward. So, I mean, I don't think that the point spread is going to be as big as it was in the regular season. Matt LaFleur has done an excellent job in his first year as a head coach. I think the reason why the Packers have gotten to the NFC Championship game almost instantly is because they realized they had to put a team around Aaron Rodgers. With that being said, the Green Bay Packers as a team aren't going to win this game. Matt LaFleur is going to have to trust Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers. No, if he can't be, well, this is a great time to find out going forward with a draft that's about to come up in 2021. But if he's still Aaron Rodgers, if he still has that in him, if he's still the best pure thrower of the football, then sometimes game plans got to go out the window, Darnell, because San Francisco about to run. They about to run, and they might fly high with some deep shots off play action. And that defensive line is coming. So you're going to need Aaron Rodgers to be very mobile. Very mobile.
Week 12, Sunday Night Football, 37-8.
Yeah, see, and Aaron Rodgers only threw for like 104 yards that game. It's crazy to think, but Aaron Rodgers, play action from under center, To win this game, Aaron Rodgers is going to have a clear vision of the field before the snap, and he's going to have time, not faking a handoff and having to turn around and kick. Like, he's going to have to be able to see the field clearly. They've been able to run just enough and basically be like every other run pass team, but they're going to have to go back just a little bit to when Aaron Rodgers was the most successful, and they're going to have to throw a lot more shotgun in there, because I think Aaron Rodgers, if the Green Bay Packers have a chance, is going to have to win the game. I'm picking San Francisco because I don't know if a first-year head coach in Matt LaFleur is going to have the trust in the NFC Championship game with a Super Bowl berth on the line as a rookie head coach to give it to a quarterback who is part of the reason why you're there, and not in a good way. If Aaron Rodgers in the past like 5 seasons, Darnell, Mike McCarthy would still be a Packer. But let's just be real, he hasn't been. So, 49ers probably got it.
The 49ers are the Green Bay Packers. You say Matt LaFleur being a rookie head coach, you don't see it.
It's not so much I don't see it, it's just, is a rookie head coach going to fix what isn't broken in the NFC Championship game? Is he going to realize after the first quarter and either San Francisco's up by 14 or it's a close game, but it's clear San Francisco's going to break away, that trying to feed Aaron Jones and keep the game plan balanced, is he going to cut it? By the midpoint of the second quarter, Matt LaFleur is going to make a tough decision.
Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy G.
Veterans, former Patriots. Well, not Kyle Shanahan, but he was in the Super Bowl where he lost to the Patriots. So there's that lesson.
Jimmy G ain't been to Super Bowl.
Oh, he wasn't the backup that season?
No.
Wait, no. No, Jimmy was the backup that season. That was like the 2016 season, wasn't it? Because Jimmy got traded during, I remember, he got traded to the 49ers like a week before we played them in 2017, and he demolished us. So, he had to be a backup that Super Bowl. That doesn't mean he went to it. You are correct about that. He didn't go to it, but he was there.
The Salua running back versus Aaron Jones. And Jonathan Williams. I ain't going to leave him out of that one.
I will.
I guess Jimmy Graham gonna meet his maker, because George Kittle's a bad boy.
Yeah, that boy George Kittle, oof. George Kittle is gonna keep blocking like he's blocking now. Oh, buddy, that's gonna be a problem. That's plug and play with running back right there when you got a tight end that can block like that.
Santa Clara rematch. Blowout. Usually this says the team that got blowouts coming back with vengeance, and it usually wins. This is Aaron Rodgers we're talking about here. This is the moment he's been waiting on. I'm going to take San Francisco, unfortunately. All you Ram fans, shut up.
Lord knows I was about to say something, but no, they got it. I'm sure they'll take care of you.
This is business. I'm picking San Francisco.
Speaking of business, I know it's a different podcast, but I lost and I still won, and that makes me upset.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I'll figure it out when we end this. So I think Buffalo's got a Kansas City, San Francisco Super Bowl in Miami.
Yeah, man. You got a porn star, Jimmy. You got two young, different styles. One comes from a program in New England where you just win. Just win. It doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter how it gets done. It truly doesn't matter how it gets done. But hey, you win, and that's what Jimmy Garoppolo is doing. Patrick Mahomes, He's a franchise carrier. Yeah, Matt Moore looked okay. Yeah, he did some stuff. Yeah, he kept the team on track. But please don't get it mistaken. Please don't get it twisted. If Patrick Mahomes is on any other team in the NFL, they probably at least make the divisional round this year. So a quarterback who needs a team and is going to right the ship versus a quarterback who is the team and will get the shit back rolling when they're down 24. So I think, especially being in Miami, probably going to have good weather at worst, some rain. It's winter here in Florida, so precipitation's kind of testy, but hey.
At least we thought it was.
Well, and see, that's why you don't have Super Bowls up north, because, Miami, Florida, it ain't hurricane season. So that's going to be very, very interesting. I will say this, though. Now, this is just pure troll. Letting the Jaguars fans sit for a second. Bro, Ryan Tannehill played in the Super Bowl in Miami, Florida, in the Dolphin Stadium. The year, not even the year, the same season he got cut. Oh, sweet Jesus. That would be like Blake. Well, no, see, the Super Bowl's never going to come back to Jacksonville, so no, never mind. Even if the Rams did make the Super Bowl this year, it wouldn't have. Oh, well, what is that?
Hey, you want to take a shot at Tampa Bay while you ready? You already hit Jacksonville. You already hit Miami. You want to go at Tampa Bay real quick?
Hey, Tampa Bay has a franchise quarterback if he stopped throwing all them picks. He said it himself.
I'm going to shut up. So that's all we got for you. On a downer side, Dallas, Luke Kuechly is retiring.
It's not a downer side, let's not be sad he's gone. Let's be happy we had him. There's very few players that you look at, and let's be real, this is the second year of the podcast. And before that, we were college students and just, we're still regular dudes, but just regular dudes just watching stuff for fun. And, it's rare when you have so many dudes so young that you can look at and say, yo, that's a Hall of Famer. You got Michael Thomas right now. You had Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly's definitely going to go in the Hall. Rob Gronkowski's going to go in the Hall. Luke Kuechly defined what a field general is at middle linebacker. It's hard to explain what a field general actually is because they don't have any physical traits that pop out on the screen. It's all mental. But Luke Kuechly, if you're one of those people who, if you're a New York fan or an LA fan, you're just big market all the time and just snoop down on the small markets, treat yourself and look up some Luke Kuechly film. Look at Luke Kuechly's profiles on the NFL Top 100 because dude was a boss. Dude is a huge part why the Panthers haven't been picking in the top 5 for the past 8 seasons. When Cam Newton goes down, which has unfortunately been the case for the past couple years, there's a reason why that team doesn't completely fall by the wayside. That's a huge. I would say, Darnell, that their positioning in the draft and them not making a decision on Cam yet, I would say on the offensive side they're in better shape because Christian McCaffrey is there than they are on defense with Kuechly being gone. You went from Matt Rule might be able to pull a Matt LaFleur, not get to the conference championship game, but have some immediate success to, okay, hey, we're looking at 6-10, 7-9. And that's a good scenario. Okay.
We're gonna talk more about those Carolina Panthers in the college podcast because they've done some interesting things. We're gonna get to that. Also, Antonio Gates is retiring, another future Hall of Famer for sure. Shout out to Coach Jimmy Johnson and Coach Bill Cowher going into the Hall of Fame.
Jimmy Johnson, yeah, Bill. Ooh. But he was a Steeler. Steelers usually get
a long time Steeler.
And that's the thing. Like, Steelers usually get favored. For one, you have to consider the fact that he didn't get fired. Again, Steeler. But, hey, he won his Super Bowl.
Hey, look. They on a third coach and who knows how long, which is Mike Tomlin. And when he retires, he's going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, because I think Chuck Noll's in the Hall of Fame. Like, dude, if you're a Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers are basically the Florida State Seminoles. You have to feel bad for whoever is the next coach after Mike Tomlin, because he's gonna be bad. You look at how the offseason went with the jobs. The Dallas Cowboys job was open. And it went to the guy who only won one ring with Aaron Rodgers. I feel really bad for Steelers fans when Mike Tomlin calls it quits. Because if that's what we're talking about, the Dallas Cowboys job was open and they went to the old Packers. Oh, man. The pickings are not going to be good, Darnell.
Nah, the Rooney family, they know how to find coaches. That's why they don't fire coaches.
Well, no, they're going to have to go to the college ranks then. They're going to have to find a young dude that, and they're going to have to give him some time. The thing is, they don't fire coaches, and that's going to be a good thing for the fourth dude. Keyword fourth dude. They've been around since like the 60s. But, dude, like, their patience is going to be a virtue for Steelers fans because the Rooney family don't fire coaches, and that college coach y'all got to give him some time. On the plus side, though, he's only going to be like 42. Bro's going to be there for a minute.
That's that. And, hey, that's the show for you. That's what we got for you. Hey, if you listen on Sports Talk channel, I hope you enjoyed it. That's the radio station that we are on now. We have Bay Radio, that is.
FCC, I can't say the thing anymore. Dang.
Unfortunately, no, you can't, sir. Other than that, you already know. Anchor, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, which one you prefer. Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, iHeartRadio. Any platform you can listen to us on, but just throwing it out there, we are on radio. And that's a good thing. We're coming up, Dallas.
That's all we can do.
And then, we're not going to leave you. We got one more college football episode for you. And, something about them Bayou. Something about that Bayou, boy.
Ain't nothing about that Bayou. It's about that boy that's going to the Bengals.
That too. Woo. We're going to get into that, man. We're going to get into that college down in Baton Rouge, too. And what they did in New Orleans against a defending champ. So,
it was basically a home.
It should be fun. So, that's Flint over there in Pensacola, down in the Pacific South in Jacksonville. We're signing off until the College Football Podcast.
Playoff Philly!
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.